What if I told you that you've been walking someone else's path to success? In my study of successful real estate agents, I discovered something. When agents followed their natural path, and that's one that's aligned with their innate strengths, their income went up. But those who followed a path that fought against their natural style continued to experience the roller coaster ride of unstable income no matter how hard they worked. So, welcome back. And in my last video, we laid the foundation for predictable income through proper money mindset. So, today I'm going to reveal how to make that foundation unshakable by discovering your natural path to success. And that path is one that works with your strengths rather than against them. So when I entered the industry in 2011, I did what most agents do. I tried to follow every proven strategy I could find. And I can tell you, there were days where I would rather have a sharp stick in my eye than call another expired listing. And as I moved into leadership and training roles, I noticed the same pattern with other agents. Some would thrive with certain approaches while struggling with others. Even though all these strategies were considered best practices. This observation became even clearer during my time as a national training director. I watched countless agents try to force themselves to follow systems that fought against their natural way of working. And the result? Pretty simple. Inconsistent income, high stress, and quite often burnout. The breakthrough came when I discovered DISC. This well-established framework that's used extensively throughout the industry helps create clarity around how different people naturally communicate and work. And as I began applying these insights, the patterns I observed started making sense. More importantly, it offered a way to help agents build a business that worked with their natural strengths rather than against them. So, thinking back to the last video and the predictable income framework we discussed, here's why this framework often crumbles. When you're following someone else's path, you can't maintain the consistent activity needed for steady success. It's like trying to write with your non-dominant hand. You can do it, but it's exhausting and inefficient. So let's take a look at what happens over the course of a month when you're on the wrong path. Week 1, you force yourself down the traditional path of cold calling because that's what successful agents supposedly do. Week 2, the emotional drain of working against the way you are wired leads to procrastination. Week 3, your pipeline starts to dry up because you've lost your momentum. Week 4, financial pressure forces you to either go back to cold calling or, like many agents do, they try something different. And the cycle continues. This misalignment affects your entire real estate journey. Your daily activities feel like walking uphill in sand because you're fighting your natural tendencies. Your client interactions, they begin to feel forced and inauthentic because you're playing a role rather than authenticity. And quite often, clients can sense this. Your income swings wildly because you can't sustain activities because you're drained. Your confidence erodes because you think you're the problem when really you're just on the wrong path. So, by combining the insights from DISC with my real estate experience, I created what I call the natural path framework. This approach helps you align your business activities with your natural behavioral tendencies. And the core principle behind this is simple but powerful. Instead of trying to change who you are to fit a particular business model, we adapt the business model to fit who you are naturally. So, through my experience training and coaching agents, I've seen how different behavioral styles naturally excel in different aspects of real estate. So, let's look at DISC. The high D, they naturally excel at things like direct negotiations, making quick decisions, and being in competitive situations. Ds often succeed with expired listing and FISBOs where that direct approach is valued. The high I, they naturally excel at building relationships and networking and creating excitement with their clients. They often thrive with social media and referral marketing. The high S, they naturally excel at building deep relationships and providing consistent ongoing support. And they often succeed through past client referrals and community involvement. Then there's the high C. The high C naturally excels at analysis, and they have high attention to detail and systematic approaches to their business. And they often succeed with investors and clients who are very analytical. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. So imagine starting your day knowing exactly which activities will energize rather than drain you. And picture having the marketing systems that feel natural and authentic, making it easy to maintain that consistent activity we discussed in video 2. And think about it. How would it feel to finally stop forcing yourself to use methods that don't match who you are? So let me share my experience on social media that has become almost a daily occurrence. So an agent posts something that they are struggling with lead generation, and they are asking what others are doing, what's working for them. Some agents also share that if they don't get a deal right away, they're probably going to have to leave the industry. So this is a buzzsaw that real estate agents are running into that will drop many of them to their knees. Here's a specific example of an agent that reached out for help with me. He was absolutely sick and tired of trying all those proven lead generation systems because none of them could seem to work for them. And his income was constantly fluctuating up and down the roller coaster ride. So through our work together, we discovered he was a high S, and he naturally excelled at building deep, lasting relationships, but struggled with those aggressive prospecting methods. Once he aligned his business with his natural style, he stopped forcing himself to cold call and instead focused on community building and community involvement. He created a systematic approach to staying in touch with past clients that felt both comfortable and authentic. And his referral business grew because people could sense his genuine care and commitment. And at the end of the day, he finally achieved that consistent monthly income because he was working with his natural strengths instead of against them. But discovering your natural strength is just the first step in this process. The real breakthrough comes through when you learn how to choose the perfect market segment that matches your natural strengths. So what I'm talking about here is niching down. But how do you select a niche that aligns with your personality? How do you position yourself to stand out in that niche? And how do you build systems that consistently attract your ideal clients? And these are exactly the questions we'll answer in our next session, where I'll show you how to combine your natural strength with strategic specialization to create an unbeatable market position. But before the next video, I want you to take a moment to reflect on your most successful transactions from the past year. I want you to write down what felt natural and energizing about those deals and what felt forced and draining. Pay attention also to how you found those clients, how you communicated with them, and how you moved together through the transaction. This simple exercise will reveal clues about your natural path to success. And we'll use these insights in our next video to identify your perfect market niche. Remember, success in real estate isn't about forcing yourself to fit someone else's mold. It's about building a business that leverages your unique strengths. And I'll see you in the next session, where we'll turn these insights into a clear market position that attracts your ideal client. So until then, keep pushing forward. The business and the life you've always envisioned are waiting on your natural path to success. Cheers.